Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Chicks, One Show, where we break down one show every episode as it airs. Uh, my name is Tricia, and she's Kait Calabro. We are the Two Chicks. This week's one show is Once Upon a Time. I don't even know what episode number we're on again, because apparently Hulu screwed up the numbers. So, episode possibly 11 of season 4 of Once Upon a Time, Fall.
It's episode 9 of Once Upon a Time season 4. And it wouldn't even be episode 11 if Hulu didn't mix it up. It would be episode 10. So whatever. I don't know. It's confusing. I don't know what's going on. That extra hour threw everyone off. Anyway, so what happened in the fall, this episode 9, was Storybrooke is prepping for a lockdown since Shattered Glass is coming by nightfall. It's a very slow-moving spell, but it's coming. So everyone's preparing to, hide away from each other. In a final attempt to find her sister, Elsa puts the hopes of a cure on hold for a locator spell. And really, all the sisters need was a wish from a pure heart, and they are reunited. But their reunion is cut kind of short because their aunt is about to destroy a whole town.
Which is really a bummer. I think we should just decide that I'm not allowed to count episodes anymore, so... We're gonna forgo any numbers. I'm not a number person, apparently.
No numbers in this wrong. No more numbers.
No more. I've gotten every single episode number wrong this entire time. So we're just gonna put the kibosh on that. Anyway, a lot and nothing also happened in this episode. It was weird.
Yeah, I felt like we learned a lot, but then I was like, as I was typing out our outline, I was like, there really wasn't a lot that happened.
There were a lot of really good moments. There were a lot of really annoying moments. The whole episode, even though it's 45 minutes of television, felt like it was really only 20 minutes worth of content.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder if they're just sort of fluffing out the story so that it can take the amount of time that they want it to.
I think it was like, okay, well, Frozen's going to be our whole first half, but how are we going to fill our first half once we get past, I think they could have done it in 6 episodes, and I think they're going to be stretching it out to, 11. Well, 12 with the extra hour, which is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, and I like I said, I don't think they necessarily had all the material for it. The Frozen stuff, though, has still been my favorite part of this season. Favorite part of any season, almost.
Yeah. Except for the first season was solid.
The first season was solid. Since they started doing, these go to places and do stuff, story arcs, Frozen's been really solid. Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Chicks, One Show, where we break down one show every episode as it airs. To freak out. My name is Tricia.
Did you just start playing an old episode?
No, I had this current episode up on YouTube, and apparently it just automatically started playing. My bad.
Cool.
Yay! We're learning new things as we go. Anyway, what was I saying? That Frozen's been really good. Frozen's been really solid. This whole storyline, the characters are really cool. They've been doing some good stuff with our normal characters when they are included in the Frozen storyline. So far I've liked it. I've been really surprised because I went into this assuming I was going to hate it.
We both went into it just being like, fuck this. This is probably the last time we'll watch this show.
More than that.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot. So I'm pleasantly surprised with that, but it's also highlighting how badly they're treating the rest of the cast. That being said, the stuff that did happen in this episode, I don't even know where to start. How about let's start with the preparations?
Yeah, so the whole town of Storybrooke, what I don't understand is the spell has a specific time. That's never happened before.
No.
So it is known around, all Regina had to do was look through her binoculars and be like, it's gonna be here by sundown. How the hell did you know?
Yeah. The second she did that, I was like, Regina, the automatic spell clock.
Yeah. So just by looking, but then for me, the spell always, whenever they would show the spell cloud coming, it was always in the same spot. It was not progressing. It was always right before the the clock tower. So I don't understand why, because from what I saw, Storybrooke's pretty big because we can't find people for years.
And there's millions of them apparently.
Yeah. So as the cloud was moving, why wasn't it taking place? all of a sudden just at sundown everywhere, not like as it was sweeping through the land.
Yeah, it was like you're right. It wasn't progressing. It was just all of
Yeah,
a sudden hitting everyone at once,
yeah,
which from the story's perspective was okay because it allowed for that last 10 minutes which were incredible,
yeah,
but it didn't make any sense in the whole like progression of a cloud of spell.
yeah. Like I liked the idea of us getting to see them an elongated version of prepping for the spell to happen, but it was kind of ridiculous watching the spell come. Like that was like it was like I liked it, but then I was like, this is also really stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost like it would have made more sense if they were almost given like a ransom note, like the
Yeah,
spell will hit you at sundown.
yeah, or like a like in like she took like the fireworks, like wrote it like a plane with a script flew over,
There
and
you
like,
do it that way.
oh, yeah, like that would have been fun. But like this was just like so it felt like the first 5 minutes were very hectic, where they're like, okay, everyone has to do this, do that, and then like we still had 40 minutes until the spell actually came. So I don't know why everyone was running around like a chicken with their head cut off, getting ready for the spell.
It was like initial panic.
Yeah. So everyone goes to their separate places. Regina warns Robin, which was cute. They had
Yeah.
like a little kiss, and she's like, "You have to stay away from me." And then they go to the library, right?
Well, it's they figure out that someone who has been under the spell
Oh yeah.
before can't be affected by the spell again, and can also, apparently, because spells are like viruses,
Yeah, it was like
can be used to make a sort of antivirus spell potion.
I'm not gonna lie, I had to rewind that part because I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Yeah, it was essentially like spells are viruses.
Yeah, it was like hair, and Anna's immune to it. Well, first what happens is they decide that maybe David could climb the ice wall.
Yes, I forgot about that for a second.
I forgot and help people escape.
Hmm.
Failed miserably.
Speaking of which, this continues our debate about the town's borders. Can they leave?
I guess not because then when you see Hook down by the water, magically the ice wall is now around the water, so they couldn't even
Yeah,
escape.
but I mean, can they physically leave town? Like, if the ice wall wasn't there
Yeah,
and they left,
I don't think so. Can someone please tell us? Because it's driving me insane.
it's
If
a
you
constant
people know,
debate.
please tell us.
It's like I have no idea. Like, did we establish that they can leave? Because I honestly don't think that we have. But now that they have to leave, is it that they can leave or that they're willing to risk their memories for not killing each other?
The last thing, and I think we both agree on this, that we were aware that if they crossed the border, they lost their memories.
Yes.
That was the last thing I heard about the border control issue. The
Yes.
only people that could leave were Emma and Henry because they weren't born in the Enchanted Forest. That is all I know.
Yeah. I have no idea. So but they apparently, we're gonna go with they can leave right now because David tries to climb the ice wall with a pickaxe and some rope.
It
Um,
just it further proves how useless David is. Like it just
yeah,
keeps
they're just giving him stuff to do now.
and that's when Elsa finds somehow Anna's necklace.
Well, it's because the Snow Queen like lashed out at David with more ice, and it
Oh.
like shook the necklace loose conveniently.
Yeah.
Um, so then she finds Anna's necklace, and yay, I found her necklace. I'm so happy, and it's sentimentality. Um, and then not only do they discover that you can reverse the spell with Anna, but that you can find Anna using the necklace.
And then also because there was shattered glass embedded within the metal, they could also use the necklace if they couldn't get Anna. There was a
Yeah.
lot going on. A lot
So
going on.
they start with a locator spell, and they follow it to the library. Um, and then they go into the tunnels under the library. Finally, we're going back into the tunnels under the library. Yeah. And they discover this bedrock, essentially, and Anna's probably on the other side of it, although apparently we don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So Elsa wants to break it open, and Emma's like, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
So they decide to take the necklace back and let the fairies who have now congregated in Granny's with their chemistry set,
Fucking.
um, to use the necklace to save the town.
But then
Um,
they don't really, because Elsa kind of selfishly keeps the necklace and like still hoping to find Anna and like runs away with it. So now
at
the
the same
town's
time, I
kind of
totally
stuck.
understand her doing that because, like, where they're all trying to save their loved ones, so is she.
Yeah. And like really she has no tie. Like does she really give a shit like if Grumpy survives? Probably not. Like
But she still believes that she can find Anna and save everyone.
yeah,
That she can have her cake and eat it too.
apparently.
Or ice
So
cream.
that's happening. So let's talk we'll come back to that arch. Let's leave it right. Let's put a pin in it. Let's talk about our favorite our Rumple and Hook, which
Oh, Rumple and Hook.
is just getting
Rumple's really annoying me because, like, they went through this whole thing trying to sort of redeem him, and now he's, like, super bad guy again, which
yeah.
I like that he's super bad guy. I almost wish they didn't put so much effort into convincing us he wasn't.
But they're still trying to convince us that he's I feel like they're still trying to for us to like him.
I just don't like him anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. So Rumple makes a deal with the Snow Queen, and it's pretty much the only time we see her is in the very beginning
And the
of the
variant.
yeah, where he's like, I guess this is another thing I didn't know. When you're the Dark One, you're immune to curses.
He
Didn't know
was
that.
immune to the original, but I always thought he just wrote that in because it was his
I thought
curse.
that was part of the deal. I didn't know he was immune to all curses. Um, so he wouldn't be affected by Shattered Glass, but his wife and grandson would. So I don't even know why he has to ask her. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to leave, and I'm going to take Belle, and I'm going to take Henry.
It was basically, I think he had to ask her because he knew he couldn't get all the ingredients so that he could actually leave. So
Oh.
he just says, I need you to make them immune when you cast the spell.
So is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, that's what I think anyway. I think that unless there was something in the promo that I didn't see,
Yeah.
where Belle and Henry were affected, I don't think Belle and Henry are going to be affected.
Okay, because he made like this whole big thing where he wanted to leave town before the spell hit, but then he didn't leave town. So then I was like, now what's going to happen?
I'm not hoping, but I'm thinking that's what it is. Yeah, he did make a big deal about wanting to leave town, but how would he have left?
Yeah, unless he was going to have her like carve out like a circle of the snow
The
wall.
hard way.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
But
Um,
what if he could get Belle and Henry to leave?
I think he could get. I don't know. You probably have to use magic. I did see. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's annoying that he thought of Henry. I wish he didn't think of Henry because then it would make me so much easier for myself to hate him. But the fact that he thought about his grandson makes me like,
Yeah, like obviously he still cares about people, but he cares about people really selfishly.
yeah. So I don't know. So
Anyway.
that's what. So that happens, but then he needs Hook to kill the fairies.
Well, he can't get the magic from Emma anymore because he's not going to get the magic from Emma.
Yeah.
So he decides to get the magic somewhere else, and since Bella has informed him that they have brought all of the fairies together in one place, how
Like
can
telling him everything.
yeah, we'll just suck all the fairies into the hat, and that will be hat. I don't know. I'm assuming that sucking someone into the hat does not kill them.
I guess not. But I feel like we've seen the blue fairy die every season, and yet
Right?
she's still around.
Yeah, and I'm off and on liking her.
She kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
But that whole time, so Rumpel sends Hook to do his dirty work and to get the fairies. And I thought Blue was gonna get away and then like go like rat on Hook and be like, Hook's killing people. Like,
Yeah, I never really thought that she would, just because it felt like they were setting it up to be a thing where she sees him and he sucks her into the hat, and then eventually I think she'll say something when she eventually gets out of the hat because she's gonna get out of the hat.
at least will survive. So that was pretty much the Rumpel and Hook storyline.
Yeah, it was just he tells him at the end once Hook is done sucking up all the fairies and brings him the hat back, he says while his work is technically done, he's not gonna let him go until he's completely done with
Yeah.
everything. Although that makes me wonder if Rumple actually needs Hook's heart. Like
I
that
know
was supposed
because
to be one of the ingredients.
yeah, because he like clearly wants to suck more power, but then told Hook that he'll be dead by morning. So where is he gonna get this other power from?
So he needs some other ingredient, and then Hook will be dead by morning. So I'm assuming that Hook's heart is actually an ingredient. He's not actually ever going to get it back, even though Rumple says a lot of really confusing stuff that doesn't make sense with everything else that he says. I don't know if that's like really sloppy writing or if that's just his character.
I don't know. Rumple's just a confusing guy.
Yeah, but anyway, so Rumple has like one more ingredient before he can cast his thing with the hat and sever himself from the dagger and leave with his powers intact. Although there's still a giant ice wall surrounding the town, so how he's gonna do that, I don't know. And he tells Hook that he's going to die, no matter what. Then Hook goes off and says his, fretful goodbye to Emma.
Which was cute, but then it was kind of like, ugh, exhausting.
Yeah, which is cute. So then the other storyline we had going was Anna and Kristoff.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed.
Wrapping all that up. Which actually, I liked how they did the Anna and Kristoff stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of clever. What?
So do you want to explain what happens?
Yes, I will. So the last we saw Anna and Kristoff, they were frozen along with all of Arendelle and also Hans, who was in a closet. And has a skeleton. They were frozen, and all of a sudden they get unfrozen. Now, my original assumption, and I'm assuming that it was supposed to be what you thought, was that they were unfrozen as soon as the Snow Queen got out. So that it was like relatively quickly. And they're not unfrozen for more than like a minute when they're saying. Anna figures out that Rumple, because there's a piece of gold straw, so of course she makes the brilliant deduction that that's where the urn is gone with Elsa inside. She remembers everything that she did and says, oh my god, I put my sister in an urn, this is horrible, we should go get it back. We can totally get it back, we can totally take Rumple, and even if we can't, oh well, we can still get it back. So they make the decision to go back to Misthaven to get Elsa back, and as they're about to leave, Hans busts in with his 4 brothers and is like, yeah, no, you're not going to do that because now I run Arendelle because you just admitted to treason and also stuff. And they sword fight and get away, and they decide to go find Blackbeard.
Yeah, because she read something in her mother's journal about getting a wishing star. And Blackbeard was the only one that had this wishing star. So they take the royal treasury and like go on this voyage to find Blackbeard. Now, this was my thing was the unfreezing of Anna and Kristoff, I saw it 2 different ways. I saw it as that it immediately happened, or it happened once the Snow Queen casted her new spell. But like they don't explain it, but what threw me off is then they start going on this journey. So then I'm like, is this a flashback or is this not a flashback? Like I think once I saw them like going through the forest, I'm like, wait, this has to be a flashback then.
Yeah, but so once they get to Blackbeard's ship, they've decided, by the way, to switch gears and go visit a pirate instead of an evil wizard because easier. And Anna believes that the wishing star will be the easiest way to get Elsa back. She can just wish Elsa back, and hey, she'll be here. So they go to visit Blackbeard, and that's where Hans, like, essentially jumps on the ship and is like, ha ha ha, I got here first. And Anna's like, how the hell do you keep doing that? Which I'm not
gonna lie, I like Once Upon a Time Hans way better than movie Hans. Like, I actually enjoy him.
I think I liked movie Hans too a little, but yeah, no. Once Upon a Time Hans, he's just really evil. It's just the end of Frozen Hans.
But it's like all the time.
Yeah, so it works. But anyway, so Blackbeard tells them that the wishing star could only be used by someone with a pure heart, and obviously their parents don't have pure hearts because they're horrible.
Yes,
as we've established many times. And at that point, Hans decides they're going to get thrown overboard. So Blackbeard puts them in a trunk, and Hans is all upset that they're going to be in a trunk. And Blackbeard says, I have to put you in a trunk because I got thrown overboard once, and I got saved by a mermaid.
Great story.
So in order to keep you from being saved by a mermaid, we're going to put you in a box.
Yeah.
So they get put in a box and thrown overboard, and as they're sinking, Kristoff manages to untie his hands, and he unties Anna's hands, and there's this really tearful moment where they're totally sure they're going to die, and Anna tries to marry Kristoff herself, because apparently she can do that as royalty.
The princess.
So they're about to die, and then the magic happens. Now, I don't know about you,
Okay.
specifically to Kate, but also to our audience. I don't know about you, but when they said wishing star, did you immediately think the necklace was the wishing star? Because I did.
No, like when I thought wishing star and then they said Blackbeard, I thought he was just gonna be like, it's just some damn star you wish on, like outside. Like I didn't know it was gonna be like an actual object.
I was maybe not the second they said wishing star, but they were like wishing star and Blackbeard, and immediately I thought second star to the right, Neverland.
That's what I thought. So I'm like, she's gonna pay all this money to just look up into the sky? Like he's gonna be like, oh, that's it. Like,
Yeah. But at the same time, but then like within a few minutes, I was like, holy crap, it's the necklace.
that that's a good like. Well, I guess it was. I don't know. Was it or wasn't it?
What?
Because it could be the necklace. Because Elsa kept saying that they found it within their mother's belongings.
Yeah, she says, like, we found it within our mother's belongings. It wasn't new to her, but it was new to us. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is the wishing star.
But then you see the bottle. So was the wishing star in the bottle?
No, the wishing star was not in the bottle. The wishing star was just something they brought back, put with their stuff. I think they tried to use it, realized that it wouldn't work.
Okay, so maybe it was the
With their
necklace.
crap. Oh, I forgot. The other thing that we find out while they're on Blackbeard's ship is that it's been 30 years. Apparently Hans knows this somehow. I'm guessing he asked one of his brothers.
But how would one of his brothers know? They were all
There
frozen.
were only 4 there with him, and he is 12, so he could ask the other 8, who are now old people.
What did he send him a text? Like, how?
Yeah,
When was the last time you heard from me?
Yes, exactly. He used the Arendelle text messaging system.
Exactly 30 years ago, Hans, was when we heard from you last.
So Hans knows that it's been 30 years, and they're like, holy crap, it's been 30 years, and everybody in the audience is like, holy crap, now they're at the same timeline.
Yeah.
And then, so it's at this point that we flash back to nowadays Storybrooke with Elsa and Kristoff sinking in the ocean in Fairy Tale Land, and Elsa finally getting through that bedrock and finding themselves on the beach. I am really wondering what's up with the beach this year, because that's also where Will was digging.
Yeah.
And they're on the beach, and Elsa finally starts to give up, essentially, on finding Anna, that this has all been fruitless.
The light, because they're using the locator spell, and as long as it's lit, I guess Anna's alive, and then the light starts to dim. So I think she's like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah, she starts to give up, and then she essentially eulogizes her sister. She apologizes and has this really heartfelt, horrible, I'm so sorry, and blah, blah, blah. And then she says, I only wish that you were here with me again, or something along those lines. And the necklace gets all glowy, and the ocean gets all bubbly, and all of a sudden out pops the trunk that they are in, and Anna and Kristoff are back. My phone is ringing again. It's going to talk.
It wouldn't be a show without one.
It really, apparently these days, it would not be a show without my phone ringing. I need to remember to unplug it while we do these. So anyway, Anna and Kristoff are here in Storybrooke, and they find them, and it's all pretty and happy. And I thought it would have been the whole scene where they find each other again and they're hugging and everything's happy. I thought that would have been a really great way to end the Frozen arc. Like, I don't know that we necessarily need Anna and Kristoff for the rest of the story.
I think in a way it did end the Frozen arc, because really the only thing that's keeping Anna and Elsa in Storybrooke is just to stop their aunt. And I think that's all going to be wrapped up within the next episode. Because
I agree, but at the same time, I feel like it would have been the final victory.
Yeah.
Like, once they defeated the Snow Queen, because this whole story has been about, as much about Emma figuring out, her strength, also about Elsa figuring out how she is strong outside of her relationship with Anna.
Mm-hmm.
And having Anna there, like, almost negates that. Like, not necessarily negates it, but sort of weakens that point.
I think it was because we are in episode 9. I think people were just like, okay, the sisters have to be together. They wanted to see at least the sisters together a little bit before, I guess, they wrapped it all up. I don't know. I
I don't know.
could, I thought it was cute, and I like the fact that she found her sister. Do I think that Anna and Kristoff need to be in Storybrooke? No. But at this point, like, they need to get back to Arendelle because Hans is going to take over soon. So really, it's a little bit more of a crisis mode to Arendelle versus Storybrooke for them.
Yeah, but how they're going to get back, we have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Can they get back? I don't think they can.
Okay. Well, they ain't going to be in the second half of the season, so.
I have no clue at this point. But that whole moment brings us to the final sequence, and the final sequence was worth the entire episode.
Yeah, the last, like, 7 minutes of this episode was solid.
And it was solid in an interesting way because it had very little dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And what dialogue it had actually, like, it was getting to the core of literally everyone's fears.
Yeah, it was great. I really liked it. I was like...
It was really great. It really was. So after Anna and Kristoff get back, all of them go straight to Granny's to deliver Anna, and all of the fairies are missing, and their chemistry set's a little broken, and so they're like, oh crap, we can't fix anything. This was totally the Snow Queen. They obviously don't.
Gold gets off the hook.
Oh, snap. Gold gets off the hook.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know if you meant that pun, but...
I didn't mean it, but we'll just pretend like I did.
Okay. So they go back to the sheriff's station where Snow and David say, well, if we can't stop it, here's what we're going to do. And you were going to lock us in these two because we only have two cells.
The crime rate was very low, and this was a great Mary Margaret moment where early in the episode where Regina was commenting on how she was being a mayor. And Mary Margaret goes, well, if there was only one villain in town and the villain was the mayor, of course he didn't have a lot of decisions to do, which I thought was hilarious. So I guess there was no need for more than 2 cells.
Yeah, they really weren't. So they say, you're going to lock us in the cells. Kristoff, here's the keys to the cuffs. You should lock yourself to that desk.
Yeah.
Elsa, Emma, and Anna are all immune. So that takes care of them. And this was basically the last 7 minutes where let's make Emma as uncomfortable and terrified as possible and then tell her to save the world.
Yeah. So it's like they go back to the sheriff's, and first David and Kristoff reunite because apparently they're old friends, and he gets his, oh, Joan! And then Anna makes a joke about his hair. David's hair. So so they decide, everyone pretty much in town decides to lock themselves in a room away from everyone else.
Which was great. I mean, that's the decision I would hope you'd make.
Yeah. My only issue with David and Mary Margaret was that they can still see each other.
And touch each other.
Yeah. So sure, they're locked in separate cells, but they can still touch and see each other. That might have not been the greatest idea.
My other problem was Kristoff is now locked to the drawer of a desk, which you can definitely break off.
Mm-hmm.
I have many other issues with the ways that they lock themselves up, but there were some really, really good moments, and I was wondering about the baby, too. Emma says, where's Neil going to go? And Snow is like, you're taking him, and I'm like, where is she taking him?
Yeah, where is he?
Quite a Snow Queen.
Yeah, she's going to hold the baby as she's, like, doing light magic, like...
But at the same time, that adds to Emma being as uncomfortable and terrified as possible. We just went through this whole thing where she's terrified to hold the baby, and they're like, we aren't afraid of your powers. And I'm like, but Emma totally is.
Yeah, because, like, Emma has Henry now, but Henry was, like, what, 10 years old when she met him?
Yeah.
Or maybe not 10, but younger. Like, she has no idea how to take care of a baby, and now she has to save a town, kill an evil witch, and make sure, like, her brother has a clean diaper and is fed. Like, it's just a lot going on for Emma.
There's a whole lot going on, and very, very quickly, it's just like, here, lock your parents away, the whole town's about to go crazy, you have to go kill that Snow Queen, and oh, here's your brother.
Yeah, that's pretty much, oh, and my boyfriend might die. Not that, like, he said that, but, like, it wasn't really, like, the best goodbye.
Yeah, and then Hook walks in, and I'm like, oh, crap, what is he gonna say? I was convinced he was gonna just confess to her right there.
Be like, hey, Emma, did you get that voicemail?
Yeah, oh yeah, what about the voicemail? She apparently just hasn't had much time in all of the world saving to check her voicemail. So then Hook shows up and it's like tearful goodbye. She kisses him and he goes out to the docks. And then once we're done with them, we
Mhm.
get to see Regina's freak out, and she throws Henry in the mayor's office, says, "I'm going to lock this place down. You won't be able to get out, but no one else will be able to get in." And he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine. Leave, please."
Yeah.
And
Well,
so she leaves,
I don't
locks.
think Henry, but the whole thing, I don't think Henry is afraid of Regina. I think Regina is afraid of what Henry will say to her. I think it's vice versa.
I maybe. I also think Regina is the one who's the most afraid of herself.
Yeah, but I don't think Regina has anything that I don't think she's hiding anything from Henry. I think,
No, I don't think she's worried
yeah.
about what she might say. I think she's worried she's just going to start killing people.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because that's the entire motivation that Regina has at the end here is I am going to hurt people, not everyone's going to hurt everyone else. It's I am going to hurt people I care about. So she locks Henry away and then she sees Robin Hood and she's like, "You need to leave."
Like,
And
get that?
yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna go chain myself to a tree in the forest in a minute. Let's talk." And she's like, "No, you need to get as far away from me as possible because I am a scary person." He's like, "I'm not afraid of you." And she's like, "Yeah, you really should be." And then leaves.
This is my favorite part, though. Like, I liked the last, but then I was like, everyone moves like very fast in this town. Everyone keeps the spell's coming, the spell's coming, and then like she's at the mayor's office, and then all of a sudden she like gets to the vault really fast. Like it was just,
Well, when you're motivated, you get
yeah.
places quickly.
But then,
My
go
sorry,
ahead.
my biggest problem with Regina's plan is that she's gonna lock herself in the vault. That
Hmm.
is awesome. The whole reason she's locking herself in the vault is so that she doesn't hurt other people. It's not so that other people don't get in and hurt her because she can certainly defend herself. It's so
Hmm.
that she doesn't hurt other people. So she's locking herself in her vault. The only person that can break that lock is her.
Yeah. So if she once it's gonna be broken no matter what. But this was so that's stupid. Then my second point was you're locking yourself in your vault with all your evil goodies. That probably wasn't the best idea as well.
No. I mean, obviously the vault was the obvious choice besides her house. She could also lock herself in her house, but who knows what she has in there. Um but I'm just like that's like locking yourself in a cage and holding onto the key.
Yeah.
She should have gotten Emma to lock her in, but I don't know if Emma could do it. I don't know. But so she locked herself in the vault, but I don't think she's gonna last 10 minutes after becoming all scary before she unlocks everything and leaves.
So
And
yes,
apparently she's not fit.
people that Rumpel locks Belle into gold because apparently he can just walk around, nothing's gonna bother him.
Yeah, but he locks Belle away. Everybody
Yeah.
locks away the people they love or locks themselves away.
So everyone's locked up except for Hook is walking around. He's just on the docks.
He was getting ready to lock himself to the docks, though.
Oh, okay. I
He
wasn't
said he
sure.
was going to chain himself to the docks.
Yeah, that will. He's got a fucking hook for Christ's sake.
I don't know. He's going to chain himself to the docks.
These people aren't thinking very like it's like the locking yourself away part is good. It was a good idea, but
As long
then
as you don't have the key.
if you don't have the key, if you can't see or touch other people, if you're completely like the only one that I think is okay is Henry because he's completely isolated. Other than that,
Yeah, I agree. And
stupid.
then the spell happens, and everybody stares directly into the shattered glass coming toward their faces.
Except for Emma, who like actually does like who doesn't even.
Emma
It
and
doesn't
Elsa
even
and Anna, all the three people that are totally immune from the spell, shut their eyes and hug each other.
but everyone else was like,
Let me stare directly at the thing that I know how it gets in my face.
yeah. So then we have this great moment where Mary Margaret and David share this moment where they're like, "Oh, we can't possibly be mad at each other because we have the same heart. How could people with the same heart be mad at each other?" Okay, David, shut the fuck up. It's
Have you
clearly
ever heard of self-loathing?
yeah. So then she goes, don't let go." And
Oh
like
my
they're
god, Titanic.
yeah, like as they're holding hands through the jail cells. So as soon as the glass gets in, at least they show Mary Margaret's eye becoming, getting the glass in it. She lets go of David, and she does this wicked look on her face to him, and I'm just like, and that's how it ends.
Yep.
Like, oh my
So
god!
the spell of Shattered Sight has been cast, and next week we're going to see the fallout. There's also talk of a bunch of flashbacks, and possibly getting flashbacks of a teenage Emma in her foster home with Ingrid, so
Ooh.
that's a possibility. I
Yeah,
am not really that interested in that anymore.
I I was when they first introduced it, and now I feel like they've taken too long to get to it, so now I
Yeah,
kind of just don't care.
the time for flashbacks is over. Let's wrap up the story.
I'm still very interested in how Ingrid got to Storybrooke, how Ingrid got Emma, but yet I feel like they should have talked about it like 4 episodes ago.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there.
So, but you didn't see next week's preview.
I never
I
see it for you.
Yeah. So next week clearly Shatterglass happens and everyone goes completely insane. So
That could
like
be really fun.
I think it's gonna be a fun episode. Regina, I think, lasts in her vault maybe 5 minutes. She's already, like, she's broken out, and Snow breaks out of her jail cell. And Regina, while she's in her vault, gets completely changed into evil queen gear. She comes out with, like, the hairpiece, her boobs pressed up, full-on evil queen, after Mary Margaret. Like, there's a Mary Margaret evil queen showdown coming.
I'm wondering if Marion will get unfrozen and go after anybody. I don't know. Probably not.
Oh,
I think
that's
we're gonna
true.
save that for the
Well,
end.
that's what I was thinking. I don't know why. I didn't know where they put Marion. So when Henry comes in to the office, I thought Marion was still there. Because last time I saw her, she was on the couch in the
Oh, I
maze.
did too. I thought maybe Marion was still there, and I was like, "Are we locking Henry up with a frozen Marion?"
Yeah, but then my whole thing is that if Anna and Hans and Kristoff got unfrozen when she cast a spell, should have Marion got unfrozen?
I thought the same thing because in that moment where Regina shows up at Robin Hood's camp and says, "You need to run,"
Yeah.
um, when he kisses her, I was convinced Marion was gonna be off screen.
So did I, and I thought, I don't know if it was me watching it on Hulu, but I thought you saw a cloak go by them.
Me too. You did actually. The scene transitions in this episode were
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
I
assuming you were supposed to think that was a Mary Man. I totally thought it was Marion.
I thought it was Marion, and I thought Marion was gonna pop up in the office and be like, "Yo, bitch."
Yeah,
'Cause
like I thought that was gonna be the showdown that we get at the end of the episode when the spell hits, and it's gonna be like, "Nyeh."
Yeah, I think Marion. I have a feeling Marion's unfrozen, but we have to remember Marion doesn't have her heart. So would she
Oh,
care?
right.
Regina has her heart.
Regina has
So,
her heart locked away somewhere. I don't know. I have no idea what's gonna come out. Regina has a lot to take out on Snow and a lot to take out on Marion.
and if
So
Regina has Marion's heart, or did Robin hide it away? Either way, evil Regina, under the spell, could easily crush Marion's heart and bye-bye Marion.
yeah, and then also bye bye Robin, I think.
I don't
This is
know.
also going to be there's the whole spell of Shattered Sight. Honestly, the things that I'm most interested in seeing are the stuff with Regina and Robin because he's never seen her evil,
Yeah, but like
and
he
he
has.
honestly doesn't believe she can be as evil as she says she is.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting. I am actually very interested in the next episode.
Just want to say one thing about the promo. There is a moment where I don't know how, and I'm pretty sure if I'm wrong, if someone watched it again, you can let me know. But what I took is Hook breaks into the mayor's office where Henry is, and Henry must have put marbles down on the floor.
It's totally gonna be Home Alone.
Yeah, so when Hook walks in, he slips out all of the marbles, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like a Home Alone thing.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I was
the kind of
dying.
person who would totally rig the house like Home Alone.
Yeah, but I don't know if, like, if Hook's trying to get Henry for Rumple, or, like, why would Hook go for Henry?
I honestly have no idea.
But that's what I saw, was Hook going in there and slipping on a bunch of marbles, and I'm like, this is great.
So I'm very interested in the next episode. I don't know how they're going to stretch it for two. I know Kate's theory is that they're going to end it in the next episode and set up the next half.
Yeah, because the final episode of this mid-season is called Heroes and Villains, and I
Oh,
think the villains will be coming to town in the final season, and maybe we'll get some idea why all these villains are showing up in Storybrooke.
I agree with you there. I didn't know that that was the name of the episode. So yeah, that's the theory. So the next episode is probably going to be the end of the Snow Queen, or at least her arc. Much I think in the way that we did the Wizard of Oz storyline, where they technically defeated the villain in the second to last episode, and then there was just some more to talk about in the last episode.
I think that's what's going to happen.
So we shall see, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I think that's all we have for this episode of Two Chicks One Show. If you would like to chat along with us, you can feel free to comment either on YouTube or Google Plus, or on the website. We're on allgeektome.net. You can also tweet us. I'm at Tricia Ennis. She is at Kait Calabro. It's very difficult. Or with hashtag 2chicks1show, right there in the little lower thirds that we have. We look forward to hearing from you. We do respond and we do appreciate your comments. And please, if you have any idea if they can leave Storybrooke, let us know because this is really annoying.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. So we will see you next week. This show airs every Wednesday at 6. Once Upon a Time airs at 8 o'clock on Sundays on ABC. So long.
Bye.